The Staccatos, and we all know that, from 1963 to 1968, was a Canadian rock group from Ottawa. More Senators fans. And they have numerous hits in their native Canada right here, including the top 10 entries, Half Past Midnight, Signs, which was their biggest one, I'm a Stranger Here, and of course we heard right in there
Private
Train as well, and Andy Kim in there as well, who used to be known as Baron Longfellow, and I could never figure out why he named himself Baron Longfellow. Can you figure out why?
Well, he was an Archie too, if I remember as well, so he's a lot of names.
Of course, he grew up in Montreal. He's a Habs fan. And Andy is known for a number of hit singles. Of course, he released in the late 60s and early 70s, such as Rock Me Gently. And we heard Rainbow Ride in there. And Good Night, My Love, from Pollack, of course, who is probably one of the biggest Canadian acts of all time.
And he's from Ottawa, too.
He's from Ottawa as well, yeah.
Is he a Senators fan, too, then?
And he must be a Senators fan as well. You see how we tie in hockey with everything we do in Canada, eh? Have you noticed that, eh? Hey? All right. Now so, where are we off to now here?
We have Hank Snow as our featured artist there, Big Daddy.
And we haven't got Peter the piano player with a polyester tie. Now, you guys can't hear any of this out there in video land because we're being recorded right now by a major video company. Aren't we, Gary?
That's right.
For our YouTube there, and because everything's going on in the headphones. But believe me, there is a piano player wearing nothing but a tie in these headphones, right, Gary?
Right.
You'll be now, who's it? We're doing Hank Snow?
Hank Snow, that's right. A guy from down east who went to Nashville.
Now, Hank Snow's childhood misfortunes continued. However, after his mother's remarriage to a local fisherman, he endured his stepfather's jealous tantrums, beatings, and verbal abuse. And why in the hell don't you get out and find a job somewhere? Can you imagine growing up in that atmosphere? His stepfather would rage even though Jack, as he was then known, was a frail 12-year-old who weighed only 80 pounds. It was at this time that his mother ordered a Hawaiian steel guitar advertised in a magazine, along with free lessons and several 78 RPM gramophone records. We're talking about Hank Snow, of course, on our profile on Moose Tracks this week. Hank Snow's audition with the Canadian division of RCA Victor in Montreal, Quebec, on October the 29th, 1936, led to the release of his first record with The Prisoned Cowboy on one side and Lonesome Blue Yodel on the other side. Now, Hank Snow moved to Nashville, Tennessee in 1945, and Hank Snow, the singer Ranger, modified from his earlier nickname, the Yodeling Ranger, was invited to play at the Grand Ole Opry in 1950. That same year, he released his hit, I'm Moving On, and the first of 7 #1 hits on the country charts. I'm Moving On stayed at the top for 21 weeks, setting an all-time record for most weeks at #1, right, Gary?
That's right.
And despite his lack of schooling, Hank Snow was a gifted songwriter, and in 1978 was elected to Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. In Canada, he was 10 times voted that country's, or our country's, top country music performer. In 1979, he was elected to the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, and the Nova Scotia Music Hall of Fame as well. He was also inducted into the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame in 1985, and we're going to kick it off with the Rumba Boogie on Moose Tracks. Just so you can get a bit of a taste of what we're listening to. This is Hank Snow, and this is a radio show.
Right.
And we're off the air now, so we can be ourselves, right?
Be ourselves.
And it's not true.
He wants to hold hands. I don't get it, but he wants to hold hands.
It's not true, okay? So this is going on the D-Moose channel?
It'll be on the D-Moose channel on YouTube.
Can you hear us out there in Western Canada? Hello there, Eldon Luma in Langley, BC. Anybody you want to say hello to?
Well, I don't know. You can't get the Hank Snow. He's all past, but all my...
It only goes so long, I think. I don't make them back, though.
That's all right, dear.
Yeah, my arms are getting heavy.